If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As I've reported over and over and over, it seems like every week we're discovering new symptoms. At some point, we're going to run out of symptoms. You know, symptoms that tell people that they're suffering potentially from the Cove outbreak that is occurring. I mean, you might have a split nail. You might bite your tongue in the middle of the night and they might call it a symptom. I've talked about how gas is a symptom. Literally, farting was a symptom, they claimed. Now, what's new? What's being reported? Hiccups, folks. Hiccups. The hiccups may be a new sign that somebody is suffering from the outbreak. I mean, are we running out of ideas at this point? What if you fall and cut your knee? Is that going to be a symptom soon? What if you choke on a peanut? I mean, I guess these are all signs, folks. Your breathing is a symptom. Everything is a symptom until you're completely 6 feet underground, according to everything that we're hearing so far, because the list of symptoms pretty much qualify every single thing possible as ruling you in as somebody who could potentially have it. So then they could just put it right on your certificate when you pass. This article from Forbes says, are hiccups a sign? Here's what happened in this case. They said, think it can rely on just symptoms to diagnose the infection? Well, here's yet another hiccup in the plan. Oh, I see what he did there. What a clever, cool writer, right? Or rather, a bunch of hiccups. A case report recently published in the American Journal of Emergency Medicine suggests that persistent hiccups, otherwise known as hiccoughs, could actually be a symptom. So hiccoughs, we're going to change the name of hiccups to hiccoughs. In the case report, Garrett Prince, MD, and Michelle Sergel, MD, from Cook County Health describe what happened to a 62-year-old male who went to the Cook County Health Emergency Department after experiencing multiple days of persistent hiccups and an unintentional 25-pound weight loss over a 4-month period. I would have to say they're probably not correlated, but hey, I'm no doctor, right? I'm no Freemason. So the case report described these symptoms in an interesting way, saying that the patient endorsed a 25-pound unintentional weight loss over the last 4 months, and more recently, persistent hiccups for 4 days, prompting his visit to the ED. So, so I think maybe there could be a sign that you're sick if you lose 25 pounds over 4 months and you're not dieting. Probably something's wrong. If you haven't changed your diet up, or you haven't just suddenly started exercising and you were obese. But now they tag in the hiccups because you got the hiccups at the end of it. So they go, oh, they've got to be related to one another, right? They've got to be. It says, nonetheless, these seem to be the man's only symptoms. There was no fever, no nasal congestion, sore throat, chest pain, or shortness of breath. There were none of the symptoms found on the CDC website's list of symptoms. His other medical problems seem to be diabetes, hypertension, and coronary artery disease. A physical exam which didn't reveal much either. His body temperature was 99.1 degrees Fahrenheit, 37.3 Celsius, and they said that's not a fever, but the doctors weren't ready to send the man home. And it says, after all, hiccups are like the Baby Shark song. Hiccups for a few minutes may be okay and even entertaining to others. So they're using humor to brainwash you into this. However, hiccups, I guess if you want to call this humor, by the way, I have no idea what this guy's even talking about. But he says, however, hiccups for 4 days is something completely different. In fact, once a bout of hiccups has reached a 2-day to 48-hour mark, it's time to seek medical attention. Don't keep trying to scare yourself. Breathe into a paper bag or hold your breath. Holding your breath for 2 straight days may actually take care of your hiccups, but not the way you'd like. I'm pretty sure I've never heard somebody gets the hiccups for 2 days. I'm pretty sure you probably would call or go to the hospital if you had it for 2 days because they're annoying enough for 10 minutes. He says you kind of need oxygen to stay conscious and alive. Of course, if the hiccups are so bad that they're impairing your ability to eat, breathe, or sleep, don't say, okay, I can breathe, and I'll wait for the 2-day mark. Call your doctor as soon as possible. This may now be a sign that you're also potentially suffering from C19. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. We're 7 months into this. What doctor just finally, actually, we're almost a year into it, right? If we go back to Wuhan. We finally have just come up with this now, that the hiccups are a potential, sign. They haven't figured out every potential sign so far. I mean, literally at some point, remember I did a video and I said, what is a toe lesion's going to be one? Boom, a week later, toe lesion was one. And I would normally say they're trolling me, but I don't think that they care, or I'm not important enough for them to troll or watch. But pretty unbelievable, to say the least, that these are the things that they're saying. They say hiccups. They talk about how it's spasms of your diaphragm. They're saying that irritating the nerve may cause involuntary contractions in your diaphragm. So that pretty much is giving us a lesson on what the hiccups are, which we don't need. But they go on to say that since the hiccups had persisted for well over 2 days, the doctors ordered a chest x-ray on this man for presence of a mass or some other abnormality. It's a good thing they looked, because both of his lungs had ground glass opacities. I hope I'm saying that correct. These are hazy appearing areas that look like glass that has been ground. These are not normal findings. Ground glass doesn't belong in your underwear. Well, I would hope glass doesn't belong in your underwear. There's definitely some Satanists that love to stuff glass in their underwear, especially in the back of their underwear. But hey, that's another story for another day. It says on chest imaging, they tend to represent some type of lung inflammation, bleeding, or damage. A CT scan of his chest confirmed the chest x-ray findings. Blood tests showed that his white blood cell count, sodium levels, chloride levels were all low, and something called the C19 is occurring right now. The doctors decided to test him for the severe acute respiratory syndrome and, admitted him to the C19 medical unit in the meantime as a precaution. Eventually, it turns out that supposedly he has it. So now the hiccups are supposedly a symptom of it. Just like, I guess, if you have it and a fever and you get hit by a train, right? Like I've said before, that's going to be put down on your certificate that you had the C19, not that you were hit by a train. And I guess maybe even getting hit by a train soon enough will be a symptom, right? He was run over by a bus. He was. Yeah, symptom, C19. Oh, okay. Let's get back to work. Hold on, I got to get back on my iPhone here. I'm playing Pokemon. Boy. When will the American people wake up? The question is. The answer, probably no, not anytime soon. And then you go and you look at stuff that's going on CNN and talking about all these side effects and things. And one of the top headlines is that Dr. Fauci says it's never going away. Not ever. Not ever, ever, ever. And that's exactly what I've said as far as the shot goes. Because what they're going to do is they're going to say it's still lingering around until every single human being gets the shot. And until they continue to ramp up the shot and people get 2 to 3 shots a year. I mean, they have everybody eating out of their hands right now. And they're warning of this massive phase 2 that's going to occur in the fall. Dr. Fauci says that there's a predictor of trouble ahead. Same stories over and over and over. Like I said, if you go on these mainstream sites every day, there's always an unbelievable story that they use to try to make you feel sympathy or to relate to you. Like, oh, they got married last week. Now they both are dead. Oh, high school sweethearts. One went to a party. The other stayed home. But the one who stayed home ended up getting it for the one who went to the party and died. Oh, my gosh. Oh. Right? How come it's that we hear all this stuff, Like I put ESPN on every day. It's like, oh, this baseball team, 10 players have it. Oh, the so-and-so, they have it. These people who are, famous athletes, nobody's passed. And in fact, half of the athletes you have had it are back playing basketball or baseball within 7 days. The St. Louis Cardinals were completely quarantined. Oh, now the whole team is free and clear. It hasn't even been a week. I thought it had to be a 14-day lockup. I mean, they can't even keep their story straight. They just want to make sure that they keep pumping fear into people so people keep buying into it. So what is the next symptom? I've asked this before. I think we're running out of ideas. I mean, I'm trying to think myself. Choking. How about, your hair turning white? Chipping a tooth? Turtle head? I mean, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be apparently on this list, so they can cover everything and then they can inflate those statistics. Unbelievable. The hiccups, folks. Add it to the list. So I want to thank everyone for listening to today's show. A reminder, please check out my website if you haven't. Callforanuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. It's a great website. I appreciate if you guys subscribe, and I want to thank all the patrons out there, as well as all of you who support the videos by thumbsing them up. You guys are the best subscribers on the internet. I appreciate your support. I hope everyone out there is doing well. God bless you and your families.